Rachel. If you're new here, I make videos like the one you're watching right away. I make money and time-saving videos. I check on prices in the stores in Nairobi for groceries and other purchases that you could be interested to buy. So please subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much if you are already a subscriber. Now, today's dinner idea is simple chapati. That is white flour. Ndengu. This is split Ndengu or split morning dal. And I am going to make roasted vegetables. If you don't make roasted vegetables, you should stay here. So I have French beans, and I have radishes, leeks, and the tomatoes and the ginger, garlic, and onion will be for the ndengu. So what you do for prep purposes, you soak this. I don't soak it because it is very hard to cook. I soak it because I am still skeptical about the pesticides that we are using in this part of the world and whether they are okay or not. So I leave mine soaked. So I will drain this water and boil it. It will take like 15 minutes or less. So the other thing will be to, this is already trimmed. The French beans they are already trimmed. So the next thing will be to slice the radishes, the onions, to puree the nyanya because I don't like seeing the peels kwa food yangu, and the leeks, to slice them ready for the process. So we put this to boil and we prep our flour, our chapati flour, and I'm going to tell you the only thing that matters. There is nothing that should be going wrong when you're making your chapati. So this is my easy chapati making process. I won't be in detail here because they are out there everywhere. Anyone can find out how to make chapatis, but I'm just showing you. So my white chapati flour, usually I make atta at times, white at times. I can choose to make carrot at times, pumpkin chapatis at times. So my thing is, I don't like mixing. So if it's a white chapati day, I make white. So the next could be atta chapatis, the brown ones. It will be purely atta, so I don't mix. So I intend to make like 12 chapatis. Yeah, I don't bima, you know me, but I don't know how it will happen, but it will be 12 chapatis. Okay, that is just how it is. So this is the flour. I usually mix my unga with ghee, the initial process before I start cooking. At times I can do it all with cowboy, that is if I don't have the ghee or another, but usually I will either have the two, ghee when I am mixing, then when I am rolling, and when I am cooking I will use the cowboy. I will have some salt and I will have some warm water. Make it warm, not hot, not cold. Kitambo I used to add, this is nyanya, yeah, real kitchen manenos. So kitambo I used to put some little sugar, which I stopped. Okay, so my chapatis are being made with salt peke yake. So next, so for my flour I will just use a teaspoon salt. This should be enough, and that is it. So next I stir. So make sure the flour and the salt mixes vizuri. Just take 30 seconds or so, let it mix vizuri. Then you start pouring in your water kama kawaida until you feel like stopping. Until like you feel like stopping. Honestly, my cooking is just like that, not even the chapati or anything. But that is when you know your instincts are very strong, because it rarely goes bad. So I was to tell you about the secret. If you want to make good chapatis, you don't want to attend classes or have some watch 11 tutorials on how to make chapatis. Two things: your consistency of your dough and the time you let it sit, after you making it. Are you making the dough and going straight to frying your chapatis, or are you giving it time to sit? So the more you utilize on that, and maybe the other bit would be water. Let it not be too hot or too cold. Yes, so major bit, even if you use very cold or hot water, trust me, if you keep it for long and the consistency is okay, you will be fine, trust me. So at this point is where I add my flour and drop this, and you use your mkono, your hand, knead it for like, whenever you feel it is really like ready, it is fine and in the right consistency. After like 3 minutes of your arm day, then this is how it is like right now. It should not be too hard to deal with, no, too soft to deal with, or too hard. So this point, I put my ghee. Most nice and soft chapatis, people use a lot of mafuta, and that is something I avoid. I told you my secret is like, that is like 2 spoons of ghee. My secret is to keep the flour for some time. Actually, because I don't have a helper at my place, I can make it as early as I can and go run my errands, and by the time I come back and cook, it's ready. So consistency of your flour and the sitting that you will allow it to. So mix this again for like 2 minutes. So after like 3 minutes, again, that is your dough. So what will happen is, if you fancy enough, you can transfer it to another tin. But why would you be doing that? Anyway, you can transfer it to another tin, but for as long as it has no flour on the side, that means it's clean, like that, your flour is safe. So what you need to do is use your film paper or a damp cloth, kitchen cloth, that is specifically made for that purpose, and then ufunikie, wet it a little bit, funikia your dough. But for now, I will just use my film paper, nifunikie tightly, funikia tightly, spread it tightly. Now many hours later, okay, anyway, like an hour later, now we can remove our film paper to check on our flour, our dough, sorry, see how soft it is. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to roll it, and after this you can make your chapatis. You can fry them immediately or you can let them sit. Usually I roll mine and then give them time as I make the stew, so that they can continue being soft. Honestly, all the other steps that follow here, I feel like they don't really matter. So I am going to scoop my cowboy. This is the part where you use any mafuta that you use, just a little bit, like that is enough or more. I really minimize on a lot of fat kwa chapati zangu, because you don't need to soak them in a lot of mafuta like I see it like in commonly soft chapati. So that should be fine. See the remaining, this will go to the other bit. It's just like not much. Okay. So here nothing special happens. If you had cut a bigger strips, you just roll as an individual strip. But for this, I'll just join like two and roll them around my fingers, and yeah, like that. And then I can more flour and put them. So let's roll all of them. Finally, just put your film or your damp kitamba, whichever that you put, it will just work. This is just the one that I had used because I'm not wasting another one. Why would I? It is just fine. So cover it, do the other things as you wait to fry your chapati, or you just fry it directly. Another tip that you can use to make your chapati super soft, remember it's about the consistency of your dough and the time you let it sit. You can roll this. If you have a counter, a big counter, you can wipe it and roll each circle and keep it there. Then you start frying slowly by slowly. But like mine, I'll just let them stay like that and fry them directly. But that works a lot. Next here is to make sure that your pan is hot. So put it and let it be hot. There are so many ways people test how the pan is, but if you do like this, you can feel the heat. So just roll your chapati into around a quarter, sorry, around a square, or a normal chapati is a chapati. Let nobody intimidate you that yours is a cornered chapati with maskio. Listen, if you don't hack it, for as long as you got it right at the dough step, yeah, your dough is right, and you have given it time to sit, and the pan is hot, you are good, my sister. Relax. So at this point, just cook the two sides mpaka ziive vizuri. Remember to put your moto on low. Don't cook on a lot of like high heat, and then turn it when the trick is to wait until this other side yenye nimeflip, when it dries, kind of like, then flip it. So when the other side cooks like this, you have two options. You can apply oil on the side and flip it, and the other side, or you can scoop your oil and put on the pan and just push it side by side so that it can acquire oil all through. For the French beans, I will first put hot water before roasting, simply because of the pesticides. Otherwise, if I was sure about where they are, how they have been grown and all that, ninge roast too immediately, like directly. So put hot water on the French beans, I mean. And this is, remember, it's after washing them, because zikitoka kwa soko, obviously they come with a lot of dirt, so you need to wash them. So after that is done, I will transfer them to the pan. So at this point, make sure you spread, and our leeks are going to be added later. These are our radishes. So after that, we are going to use our olive oil to sprinkle some goodness here. Okay. You can use butter, you can use any mafuta that you use. The point is so that the vegetables won't be very dry. Again, oil helps in the absorption of such things. Am I right or am I wrong? Maybe not, maybe I am, but yeah, don't worry. Put some soy sauce again. You can put this now, you can put later, but I like when it cooks together. So some black pepper, some black goodness. So don't put a lot. If you have kindos, you don't want some good food yaribike, sababu a lot of pepper. You can also use white pepper, you can also use cayenne pepper, but that is good. Is it a crime if I use what I had used to scoop my flour? No. I know this is fun. Okay, now make sure they are like spreading everywhere so that everything gets a chance to cook. So you're going to bake this for 25 degrees for 10 minutes, and then we are going to add in our leeks for the last minute. Last minute ndio tunaweka our leeks, alafu we bake for like 5 minutes, and that is it. So those are our vegetables right now. So on top, add in your leeks as you do, because they are the only thing that needs to cook, and then put them there for 5 minutes. You can add more oil if you think like they're like it's drying up or stuff like that. I'm using my coconut oil and then white pepper, nothing else. Then we are frying this. Okay, that is what we are frying, our ndengu. So our coconut oil, enough to cook the onion. So I'm not like going to let the kitungu brown kabisa. So I will put my boiled ndengu. So this is what I do. Put them like halfway. Pour in my tomatoes. Scoop in kidogo white pepper or black pepper or cayenne pepper or whatever else. Turmeric. And another tip I forgot, you can add some salt when the ndengus are almost like getting ready, and add in your coconut milk, coconut cream goodness, and stir.